Hello readers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Cell by Stephen King. Can you tell how excited I am about this? I thought this book was absolutely brilliant. This is basically Stephen King's take on zombies, kind of. I do think that these are the most realistic zombies that I've ever read. And I will explain that in a little bit, because you're gonna be like, realistic zombies, what? Yes, I think these are actually real zombies that exist among us. And I will talk that in a while. But first, let me tell you more about this book. Basically, people are gonna be terrified of cell phones after reading this. Yes, I am a little bit confused because I don't think I ever, we never get like the explanation of how this happened. Really. But basically everyone with a cell phone, if they were talking in a cell phone or checking something out in their cell phone, they get this sort of, I don't know, a message, or they listen to something in their phone that immediately makes them go crazy. So there's like, this is a really organized kind of zombies as well, because as long as the cell phone thingy, they listen to the cell phone thing, immediately they start like phase number one, I'm gonna call it, which is they go absolutely crazy. They start attacking everyone, killing everyone else around them, and the world turns insane in like seconds because we're holding a phone basically. So it was like phase one of the sort of like apocalypse, not sort of, the apocalypse that we are going through in this novel. Now the brilliant thing about this, the thing that I don't understand about this and that I wish I had an answer to and I didn't, was number one, what were they listening to? We are reading through the perspective of Clay, who is a character who obviously didn't listen to the phone. Because we are reading from his perspective, we don't know what the phone crazies, like they are called in the book, suddenly turn insane. So we don't know if this was sort of like a malfunction in the systems or in the satellites, where a certain like noises sound that made someone make like the brain go mad, or if we actually have an evil someone like sending these like sort of like pulses or a message that makes them go mad. Like, we don't know this. So interesting thing, right? Now the characters that we follow, this is like a pretty standard apocalyptic thing. We follow a team. We start with Clay, but then he finds another dude. I read this a couple months ago, but he finds another character, and then he finds a girl. So they sort of stick together to, try to comprehend what is going on in the world, and also they come into this like possibility of getting rid a bunch of these phone crazies. So they try to do that, and that sort of makes them be a part of the rest of the world. Now let's talk about zombies for a while, because I think this is the interesting part about this book for sure. These zombies are not your standard zombies, definitely not. They are not like eating other humans' brains, like they still need regular food. We have a little scene of a couple of zombies fighting over Twinkies. Also, we have that they can connect. They have telekinetic powers, and also they connect through their dreams. So they are organized in like a really weird way. Again, we have phases through the apocalypse. With the zombies, the first one was basically to make as many people as they could zombies. So they go mad and they start attacking and killing everyone around them. So that was, I think, the first part of the first phase of this. And then the next one was sort of to group them, and organize them. So you start seeing that at night we don't have any zombies. They go and they sleep, so they also need to sleep. They communicate. They have like really interesting powers. They don't only communicate with one another, but they can also go into dreams to regular people and like put things in their mind. They can make other people talk as well. So the kinetic powers or like the mind powers don't don't just apply to themselves or to the phone crazies, they can also do it to other people. I mean, this really looks like a criticism of how much we rely on our cell phones and on the technology nowadays, that is for sure. And then the next thing is, what happens when we stop thinking as individuals, when we all have our own ideals and opinions, and we just go with the flow and we just follow other people, and we start getting into groups together. I think that's really what this book is about. The thing that you are most afraid of at the end of the book is definitely not the phones, but the people. We also see how the phone crazies start communicating with everyone that is not a phone crazy. They are telling them to go through a place, and there people are just sort of hypnotized to go to this place, pick up a phone, make a call, and go crazy and become one of these phone crazies. We have an exception, obviously, with this group of people that we're following through the books. They are sort of also trying to avoid any more catastrophes, which is something that the phone crazies are not really happy with. We also find that there's a leader of them. I mean, this is such a well-organized zombies, right? Which is why I think this is not really about people dying and coming back to life. This is about people collectively doing something that is wrong. People following a leader that just wants to basically end the world, and being so hypnotized by this that they would just follow and do whatever they say. Ain't that crazy? We even have some scenes with regular people that are not phone crazies that are protecting the phone crazies, because in their dreams they tell them, oh, you should basically be on our side, and you should protect us from these other people that don't believe in us and that don't believe in what we believe in. So yes, that's why I said at the beginning, this is definitely really interesting zombies that feel like really pretty realistic. Like, this is real life zombies. We all know they sort of groups of people that come together with these crazy ideas, and how they persuade other people through their subconscious to do crazy things. Don't you think? That's why I really think that this is such a brilliantly done book. And one of the interesting things about this as well is that the action starts from the beginning. Like, in the very first 5-7 pages, the apocalypse is beginning. This is really, really fast-paced, which is something interesting for Stephen King, because normally it takes you about 100 pages to get, to know the characters and like the intro of the book, basically, so that you can get the terrifying part. Like, no, this just gets started from the very beginning. Like, from the first pages you get into the action. So if you want something action-packed, this is definitely it. Also, I'm really interesting. Now, every single time that I read a Stephen King book, I try to place it in one of the universe of the Stephen King multiverse. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Stephen King has created like the biggest freaking multiverse in the entire world, in my opinion. I mean, every single one of his books, if not most of his books, are connected in a way or another. And I was trying to figure out where this story is set, like in what world is it set. And I think this is the first time that we are in this world. And also, I did found something weird. Our main character, in a point of the book, sees this train called Charlie the Choo-Choo, and this train is basically based on a book that Jack from the Dark Tower buys when he's a kid. So where does this place this? Is my question. If you're a Stephen King fan, please let me know, because I have absolutely no idea. I tried to look for it, and there is just like one, I think it's like a wiki fandom sort of page, and the only thing is that Clay, the main character of this book, sees the train. I already knew that when I read this. Like, I catched up on that. But I don't know. I think this is just its own universe. And it's the first time, but we still have that connection with the train into the multiverse, which I think is pretty cool, and I love when I find things like that in his books. So yes, definitely a brilliantly done book. And you know, obviously after everything that I said, this is definitely like it's a meditation of how the human race is so violent, you know, the violence of the human race, how the scary thing is this collectivism, and how when a lot of people are put together in these huge groups, the extent of the damage that they're able to cause, the violence within the group that they are, you know, putting into the world, all of these things for sure are topics in the book. I do have to say, if you don't like open endings, you're not gonna love this, because it does leave in a really awful moment at the book, honestly. If it makes you feel better, like if you're done with the book, if you stop reading and you have the question like, what happened next? I need to know what happened with this character. I just need to know. You can Google it. That's what I did. I finished it and then I Googled it, and Stephen King did. I think he tweeted about it. I don't know, but you can just Google Stephen King Cell ending and you will find what Stephen King said about it, and I think you will be at ease after that. Like, it will not give you an ending, and it will not, like, there's not a story written after this or anything like that, but Stephen King make a comment that will make you feel better if you don't like open endings and you still want to read this, because I mean, it doesn't leave in a cliffhanger, like the main problems are solved, but there's a little thing that you're like, you need to know what happened to a character in the book. So if you don't like that, don't worry, you can solve it by Googling it. You won't get the whole thing and the whole story, but you will get like what Stephen King said about it, so you get like an idea of what happened afterwards. Anyways, that is my review for Cell by Stephen King. Absolutely brilliant, well written, fantastic book with lots of depth in it for sure. A lot of things that you can talk about with these. So these are just like some of the main things that I noticed about the novel that I really, really liked. So please, if you enjoy this, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I make a bunch of video reviews and a lot of bookish related content. Please let me know in the comments down below if you read this, your opinions, if you want to read it, if you don't want to read it, why. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I will just see you readers in my next video. Bye.